What's up, guys? My name is Bill and I own Billiam Jeans, and we wanted to quickly talk about material selection. So if you're coming into our store, you know that we're a custom jean company, and one of the biggest things that we offer is a wide variety of materials. So we're going to kind of go through things. If you're interested in a pair, this is a good way to kind of select what you might want. All right, there's two different categories of materials. There is selvage denim, and then there's non-selvage denim. Non-selvage denim is going to look like this. I'm going to bring this up here. So on the outside of the material, it is frayed, like so. And it's woven at 60 inches wide, and that's kind of on the newer, more modern looms. And then selvage denim is on a roll like this. It's like 30 to 33 inches wide. And on the outside, you're going to have this woven edge on both sides. Self-edge, selvage. I like to spell it S-E-L-V-E-D-G-E, selvage. It's not salvage, selvage. And selvage denim is just woven on old school looms. They're called draper looms, shuttle looms, and cone mills. The white oak plant was in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's a 125-year-old mill, an amazing history, and unfortunately they closed about 6 months ago. So we went through and purchased as much of that selvage denim as we could. We've got a lot of the research and development materials, and if you want something really unique, we definitely have that here. So I'm going to walk through everything right now, starting with the non-selvage materials. One more class distinction between denims is raw denim and non-raw denim. So raw denim basically just means that the material came straight from the factory on a roll and it has not been washed. That means that there's a lot of starch still in the material, and that starch allows us to iron it and basically just work with the material easier in the factory. And then most companies go through and wash the pants after they're made, making them non-raw. You have the choice when you buy from us if you want it raw or non-raw. We can go ahead and rinse it and wash that starch out to make it more comfortable. And starting with the stretches, I'd recommend doing that. So this is our most popular stretch material. It's a dark indigo. This is going to be about an 11-ounce material, 98% cotton, 2% stretch. If you want a pair of skinny jeans and you want something, or you want a slim or a straight, this is a good, comfortable, dark stretch material. This is a stretch material as well. This, I believe, is like a 92% cotton, 6%, what is it 6% of? 6% poly, 6% poly, and 2% elastane. I believe that's what this is. I think this might be 9271, but regardless, this is a natural indigo, so this is a lighter denim. So if you want what we call kind of the 1970s indigo, that's a great material right there. It's a lighter option. This we call heather black. Heather black is basically a black on the top with almost like a silver on the bottom. This is a good stretchy material as well. This rings in about a 10-ounce. If you wanted a dark black but you didn't want black on black, that's a great option. Looks pretty nice in the light. This is a black on black, and this is more of a 9-ounce material, so this is going to be a lot thinner. Definitely a good stretchy summer weight. If you wanted a tight pair of black skinnies, if you're a girl or you're a musician, or if you just want dark black and stretchy, that's the best way to go right there. That's a cool material. This is a material that Cone Mills did. It's called a soda pop bottle. I'm not sure what this is, but basically it's blue on the top and green on the back. So I know we're not allowed to say the soda that is normally green, but that's a lot of what they call it. It's those bottles basically chipped up and spun into thread, woven in the material, so you have a recycled polyester. So that's blue on the top, green on the bottom. I call it a hate it or love it, because you either hate it or you love it. Okay. Those are all the non-selvage materials. Those all have stretch in them. Those are all really nice. This is the beginning of the selvage denim course that we have. We have tons of different materials, and we actually have about 200 different kinds of material. It's just kind of all throughout the shop. These are just like our greatest hits. So this is our most popular material of all time. This is an 11-ounce denim. It is a 1% stretch, and it is a selvage. So this one is called 1960. It's just a really soft material. Very, very dark in the beginning if you wanted just a nice pair of denim, pair of jeans out of some nice denim. This is what it looks like faded after about 2 years of wearing. So as you can see, the contrast between the dark and the fades right here. Unbelievable material. I really, really recommend this if you're just getting your first pair. A lot of people say that raw denim that has stretch in it is kind of cheating. I think as time has passed, we've learned that stretch is actually kind of nice, and it allows the pant to last a little bit longer. Obviously, this guy wore these like crazy, so there are holes in them, but really nice material nonetheless. I recommend the 1960. That's an 11-ounce. This is the same thing, except for this is a 14-ounce. So 12-ounce is kind of right in the middle as far as thickness, and I've been talking about weights a little bit, kind of a little backwards to talk about it now, but basically 12 ounces is the middle. So if you go above that, you're getting into some thicker denim. If you go below that, you're into the more thinner, softer materials. So 14 is going to be a pretty thick, but not insane. It's a good thickness. So that's a great kind of winter jean, but there is some stretch in that. That's a great material. Is a heather black. So black on the top, silver on the back. That's a selvage denim. That's an 11-ounce. It's the cousin to this first material. So if you want some variety and you want to get 2 pairs, this is a great kind of brother and cousin choice, I guess. This is a raw black, 12-ounce, no stretch, 100% cotton. Really great material if you want a very dark material, dark paired black jeans. It's black on black. Very hard to find selvage black on black from Cone Mills. They didn't do it often, and then they closed, so they don't do it at all anymore. But great material there if you want black on black. 1968, this is going to be a 13.75 ounce selvage. It's a very dark indigo. It's probably the darkest we have, and this is the most standard material that Cone would make. It's got the red line selvage on the outside. You may have seen that in different places, but that's a really iconic type of selvage right there. So that's the standard if you ever want just no stretch, dark. That's the option. 1968. This is natural indigo plant dye. It's an organic material. The dye is done with just plant dye. So when you're using plant dye without all the chemicals, you can only get it to this color. This is pretty much the darkest you can go. And so this is a really just nice old school version, as if you were buying something from the 40s. You know, really, really neat material. This is a 16-ounce material. It's pretty crispy. So if you like it, like it thick and you like it to be kind of that lighter indigo, that's a great option. This is a 12-ounce, 1968. Same thing we talked about before. That other one's just kind of that 13.75. A little bit of a thinner material. Great option there. That's just a standard. This is a recycled, this is a Dyneema material, and Dyneema is basically another brand name for Kevlar. So this is a black, and then kind of the gray on the back. It is impossible to rip this thing. I mean, if you wanted a very strong material, go with the Dyneema. That's really interesting. A lot of people that do ride motorcycles and cafe racers, they like this material a lot. A little bit of a rougher texture to it. It's not really a flat, smooth weave to it, but I like that a lot. I think that's pretty cool. Very strong. This is a very flat indigo, probably the flattest we have. It's an orange line selvage. I can't say whose material this typically is, but really, really great material. We like to say that if you're a Clemson fan, that the orange line is the way for you. So go Tigers. And this is going to range. We have some that's about a 12 ounce, some that's a 14 ounce. But if you want orange line, just let us know. We can do that. Back to another organic natural indigo. This is going to be a 12 ounce version of that 16 ounce, much thinner, and this actually has a much much less refined weave as well. It's got a lot of grain to it, and that's a nice material. Lighter indigo. This is a green material. We call it green cast, and it just looks like it's kind of has a coating over top of it. What is likely is that this material was made and then it was dyed a second time over top of it. It feels very, very raw. Very, it almost feels like it's has like an oil to it over top of it. Pretty interesting if you want a material like this. This is unsanforized, and unsanforized or loom state basically means that it came off the loom and it didn't go through any of the after shrinkage process that they run it through. So this one could shrink in any random way. This is the most old school way to do it. And if you kind of zoom in here, you can actually see there's a bit of hair. It's got like a hair to it. And that is how you know it's loom state. Pretty cool material. This is going to be about a 13 ounce. White line selvage on the outside, thicker selvage. That's neat. Thicker selvage ID line. If you want unsanforized, that's really old school. It's kind of like the shrink to fit. Sit in the bathtub, let it shrink to you, kind of thing. That's the material you would go with. All right, almost done, guys. So this is left-hand twill, and left-hand twill is basically woven in the opposite direction and gives it a pretty interesting texture. Left-hand twill, we say, is kind of the most expensive looking denim you can get. When you're wearing a pair of left-hand twill, there's so much sheen to the material, to the outside. Just a really neat material to go with. It's a red line selvage. This is going to be about a 14 ounce as well. That's neat. I like this. I like this one a lot. This one is just a very flat, dark indigo. It is a blue line selvage, which, if you look back, there are a couple companies in time that would actually do a blue line to separate themselves from the red line. So that's an interesting material here. Very, very flat, very simple, very similar to the orange line selvage that we have. It's got that really flat indigo texture to it. Yeah, this definitely feels more like a 12. This one we're not going to talk about because Cone Mills did not weave this, but this is a 21 ounce material. So we're going to pretend that never happened. This as well. And then this is I don't know if I can say this, but if you think of kind of workwear and working on the farm, that's kind of the brand that makes this material. It's their proprietary material. It's just a canvas. Very, very nice workwear. The standard brown canvas you'd find. Cool material. This is a non-selvedge material. This is the only one in the list that we're selling right now that is not a cone. And then this is very interesting. This is called saddle brown. And this material here, 13 1/4 as far as weight. This is one of the only selvage canvases that we have from Cone Mills. It was made right at the end, right before they closed. This material is so neat, and if you want a pair of saddle brown canvas pants, I'd really recommend this. So, those are our materials, and we have a lot more, but I think to make it simple, we've just kind of placed these out here in the front of the shop. If you ever come through the store and you want to take a look at these and kind of feel them, you're more than welcome to. If you're buying online, you can go ahead and reference any of these materials and we will make you a pair out of those. And as always, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us. The phone number and the email, it's on the website. So if you just go to billiamjeans.com, probably put a link down there in the profile. Yeah, we'll answer all your questions. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys soon.